What is up, homies? Welcome back to another trailer reaction from Heroes Reforged. We're reacting to the official trailer for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power Season 2. Hector, you get to be on this trailer reaction. You're swapping out with Augustine. You missed out on the Comic-Con trailer, which was great. 3 minutes of glory. I had a really fun time watching Season 1, and I know that any series that has a huge fandom, there was some mixed feelings on Season 1. Generally speaking, I think we all really enjoyed it. I liked where it ended off. So I'm really looking forward to this new season, but what about you?
Yeah, I was really impressed with the first season. I think that there were some valid critiques and criticisms, and then I think there were also a ton of invalid criticisms. You just roll your eyes and you're like, Jesus Christ, dude, the internet is so racist. It's so stupid. I love my brown elves in this show, dude. I love my brown dwarves. Like, they're so cool and so funny and so great. And yeah, I also had a great time watching the show with you guys. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into this. And I ordered a few months ago maybe, the Bear McCreary soundtrack box set. I haven't even cracked that open yet from season 1, where like they put out a normal soundtrack release and then they put out the
holy shit
for each episode. The holy shit package, where all of them were deceived, but for one, the true rings of the music and it's just like so robust and so cool. And I haven't even opened it up yet or put it onto like my iPod. And yes, I have an iPod, because I was like, am I gonna want to rewatch season 1 before season 2? And, you know, and just to kind of, I don't know. I just like spending time in this world. It's not my favorite show of all time. It's not my favorite sort of version of this world. You know, the Lord of the Rings movies are still untouched. They're still great, but it's like comfort food to watch this show with you guys and sit in this world and to hear the dialogue and to hear the music and to see the visuals. Like, it was just really like a really fun and nice experience. So looking forward to this trailer, man.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, you know, for me, I don't come from it as someone who's read the books or does like a deep dive on the lore. So this is like a nice companion piece to the Lord of the Rings original trilogy, because it's just expanding upon that world. And of course, it's not going to lead into those movies specifically, but I think it's also just like really helpful context that if I want to rewatch this show and I want to watch those movies, I understand that they're two very separate things that are adapted in two very different ways, but it doesn't hurt the experience to just know a little bit more about the world, because in a general sense, they are telling similar stories just in different ways. So like, for me as just someone who's coming into Middle Earth, not knowing any of that context and not knowing all that lore, the deep trenches of lore, it's a very fulfilling show in my opinion, but you know, opinions vary.
Like with a lot of these kinds of projects, like sometimes they whiff it. I don't think they whiffed it with this. So like you're saying, Adam, if you do rewatch Peter Jackson's films, there'll be little moments where characters will say something and you might do the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where you're like, oh yeah, I saw that in the show. Like, you might just have a bit more sort of reference in your mind as to like what that was. And that's fun. It just sort of enhances the experience overall. So anyway, guys, support us on Patreon. It's the best way to support us. Check us out on Patreon. We got the uncut reactions for season 1. We're gonna have the uncut reactions for season 2 right on there. Best way to support us. And we got a bunch of great stuff, robust things indeed happening on Patreon. So be sure to check it out if you care to support us in any way, shape, or form. Thank you so much.
Let's watch this trailer, baby.
War has come to Middle Earth.
Sick. Yeah, it looks great.
This is the work of
Sauron. Look at him in his long
now he looks
Goldilocks
like
hair now, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Armies cannot defeat him. Once the deceiver obtains a being's trust, he gains the ability to sculpt their very thoughts.
What? Okay.
Wow.
You are wise to fear these rings. In Sauron's hands, they could work an evil beyond reckoning.
Yeah, they're like Infinity Stones, basically.
Must not fall.
Yeah. The rings of power.
For all Middle Earth.
Sooner or later, Sauron's eye bores a hole. The rest of him slips.
Man, the show looks really good, dude.
Yeah.
This is hardly a gift. What have you done to me?
What have you done to me?
Oh.
Who are you? Truly, I am the one keeping the storm at bay.
Oh, interesting. Jesus. That makeup is amazing.
As much as yours. I can help you destroy him.
I will not stop until this is put right.
Every soul in the scene
Goddamn spiders.
will know that it was you who was the architect of their demise.
Whoa.
Damn, that's soon.
Yeah.
At this moment,
Durin.
At this
Whose
moment,
hands?
give it to me straight and give it to me raw.
I love him.
You think it was only you who put yourself in my power?
He's been playing everybody.
Galadriel.
Yeah, right?
Damn, dude.
Nice.
It's fun
Yeah,
because
it looks
even
great.
though I feel like I guess I feel like Roger Ebert when he watched the Zack Snyder movie Watchmen. Roger
Uh-huh.
Ebert's review in 2009 was like, I don't know this world, I haven't read this comic book, but I'm watching this movie and it feels important. It feels like important things are happening. And
Uh-huh.
watching this, I'm like, I'm not as familiar with this backstory lore of Middle
Yeah.
Earth, but watching this trailer, I'm like, it feels like it is the big show. It feels
Totally.
very, very amped up and ramped up from season one. And
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
looks beautiful. You mentioned the makeup looks like really movie quality. It all looks movie quality, and it should, because it's Papa Bezos' most expensive show ever made in the history of mankind, which is obscene. So it better look like you got all the pennies on screen, and it does.
Right.
It looks really, really good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And, like the way I try to treat sometimes other franchises, I try to maybe compare them to things like Star Wars. So like you're saying, this looks really important. And in my brain, I'm thinking like, oh, this is almost like if the Emperor rose to power and we're watching the progression of him rising to power. It's obviously more aggressively done, it seems like, in Lord of the Rings than it is in something like Star Wars. But that's, I think, what has me kind of interested in the story and keeps me engaged, the fact that, like, oh, we're watching the rise of the villain and basically seeing what his rise does to change this whole world, how it influences all these relationships between these characters, between man and elves and dwarves and all these different factions of Middle Earth. And I like that sort of thing. I think it's cool to see all of these different groups of people come together to try to defeat a common evil, and what Sauron does and the lengths that he goes to basically like put himself into power and to control Middle Earth and to take control over all these people. I like those types of stories because it's always a huge barrier that you have to get across and get through. To what lengths are all of these groups of people willing to go to, and how does that challenge their character? How much do they teeter on the side of good and bad to get what they want, whether it's for the best reasons possible, and does that also force them or influence them to succumb to something, not so great? I like that sort of stuff. It's really compelling to me. And it doesn't matter like how well versed I am in Middle Earth. It's the fact that it has all of these makings that, I, as a viewer, get to learn more about this universe, and I get to fall in love with characters like Durin and Elrond and Galadriel and even Sauron. And I think that's the thing that keeps me excited and wanting to come back to watch season 2, because truthfully, even though we did reactions for season 1, if I would have ended the show and said to myself, like, I did not enjoy the show, I didn't enjoy the characters, there was nothing for me that entices me to watch season 2, I would just say I wouldn't watch season 2 with you guys. But it had all of that going for it, so I'm really excited to just jump back into it at the end of the month.
Yeah, everything you said, I agree with. I mean, in the trailer, it says power changes everything. So it seems like that's the story they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are already Lord of the Rings fans in the comments describing exactly how you're wrong, Adam, comparing this to Star Wars and how this is nothing. But it's like, no, that's a very good observation, a very good connection, because you're talking about an iconic villain that we know from one thing, and then a story then being told about how this character rises up. We're not saying, oh, this is like the Star Wars prequels of the Star Wars world. That's not necessarily what we're saying. That's maybe the Hobbit trilogy. I don't know. It's the approach of trying to do world building surrounding the story of like, well, then here's how the villain rises to power, and then that's how we start the original sort of story that you're familiar with. It's a great approach. And we got giant eagles up in this. Come on, that's going to be rad. So
what are you
anyway,
missing?
Power changes everything. Really excited about coming back into this world. It looks stunning.
Yeah.
And
put that first season on 4K Blu-ray, please.
Man.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And
Physical
while you're at it,
media.
Papa Bezos, can you
Send me
please
some
release
discs.
Invincible?
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I know you
And the
did it for the
soundtrack.
boys.
Come on.
Can we get yes. Thank you. Do that. So yeah, 4K, Blu-ray, Rings of Power season 1. Yeah, let's do that.
Absolutely.
Smart.
But of course, let us know, guys, your thoughts in the comments below. What are you looking forward to seeing in this brand new season? If you are someone who is so deeply invested in Middle Earth, what do you think about the trailers? What did you think of season 1? And what are you looking forward in the seasons moving on? Because I'm assuming there will probably be additional seasons to this, but let us know all your thoughts. Like Hector said, check out all the uncut reactions for everything that we're watching, including season 1 of The Rings of Power. See you guys in the next one. Bye.